Okay, so watch this and ask this question. Because I'm sitting here talking to a room full of athletes. Every single one of y'all played athletics at a high enough. Y'all just ain't higher enough yet because y'all still in school. Help me understand the racism that you experience at the athletic level. And what's the difference? Why, or not why, as a black man in athletics, especially at the collegiate and professional level, that you deal with that? How does it make you feel? Is it worth it? And is that ever gonna change?
I hear y'all talking. I think that y'all both have some great points. But for me, it's out in the open, and it's the biggest racist thing that there's going in our country is our professional sports.
Let me ask you this: did you experience that at the professional level as opposed to at the collegiate level?
That's one thing you just said.
Right. So at the professional level, it's just all laid out there.
Perspective.
Yeah, I mean, on that level, it's out in front of you. It's out in front of you. It's so open. They're just so nice with it. They're just so cold with it, how you want to call it. It's out there in the open. There isn't a single black NFL owner. There may be probably less than 2 or 3 NFL GMs. That means, you get to make decisions at any position in American sports. I don't care what sport, football, basketball. I'm throwing this out, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guaranteeing you 80% of those people that makes decisions for your teams is white people. Now you go to, or a different race, or you go to, foot. You want to talk NBA, NFL, majority of those athletes are African Americans. Yeah. So when you want to look at me and say who's the superior athlete, there is no argument. The African American race is a superior athlete.
How would Coach Sale? How would Coach Sale told us?
There's no questioning. There's no questioning that. The black man, the African American, however you want to, what do you want to call us, whatever, when it comes to that, we are the superior race. When it comes to athletics, like, we have been made to compete. We have been made to do those type of things. But yet, in that same sentence, it's like we experience the most. We know what it takes to get there. We know what it takes to go through the seasons and do those things, but yet you got the people that's calling down, making decisions, have never walked in my shoes, or never done what I done done. But yet you down here want to make decisions because you just didn't watch tape for 10 hours. But you ain't experienced what I didn't experience. So you don't watch tape and you want to call down and tell, nah, get rid of this player, or nah, get rid of that player. But you ain't never done it. Even you look at head coaches. How many black head coaches we got in the NFL? 2? 3 maybe? It's 32 teams. You trying to tell me it's not qualified African American head coaches out there? That's a complete lie, because I didn't seen it. I have seen what they call the good old boy system in the NFL. And it's ridiculous. I done had coaches that didn't know a crap of shit about football teaching me. Excuse my language, but
you're good.
Like, I didn't see it. Like, you trying to teach me and trying to tell me how to run the ball? Bro, you know nothing about it. But I have to comply, and I have to act like you know what I'm saying? I have to comply and listen to what you're telling me, knowing that what you're telling me ain't really gonna cut it on the field. So now I gotta go through the motion all week of doing something that I know is not gonna work when it comes on Sunday. But what you pay me for? You pay me to make it happen on Sunday, but all through the week you want me to comply with you. But on Sunday you like, hey, go make a play and make us look good.
I feel like at the professional level, it's all about who they trust with their bottom line.
Hold up, I don't mean to cut you off,
Go
but
ahead.
you hear me? Go back to, let's just talk about, we talking about sports. Let's talk about black quarterbacks.
We talk about them.
Let's talk about those things, the things that they try to, we want someone to play quarterback. But the minute somebody take a chance on,
come on now
who the stars in the NFL?
Come on now.
Patrick Mahomes, he black. Deshaun Watson, he black.
Steve McNair, he was black.
Steve McNair, Lamar Jackson told him he was a running back, right? And the guy who said that is one of the great NFL GMs of all time, supposedly, that they say, because he drafted Peyton Manning, because he was the author behind those teams, you know. But yeah, you look at this guy, and you tell him, oh, he's a glorified running back. He go out here and win the MVP. Now what you got to say? He's still just a little bit of a glorified running back, pretty much. That has nothing to do with that. That has everything. It has nothing to do with his play. It has everything to do with the color of that man's skin. And you don't like him for a reason. After he's already improved and he's gotten the MVP for this team, and you come back and you have the same type of statement, that's just ignorance. But I believe those type of things happen because they don't want to see or give up a known thing. The black athlete is more superior. That's just what it is. And you don't want, you know, us to come over and take over the NFL or the NBA. You know, why is there not, you know, a black NFL commissioner working with the NFL?
Right.
Because the commissioner, he don't help us. He helps all the owners. So if he can't relate to us, you know what I'm saying? You got him side to help you and he all for you. But, you know, when it comes to the players, it's always a disconnect. And if right now, I think this is the perfect time for him to shut the NFL down and demand, you know, saying some certain things happening. It's not going right anyway. And in the NBA, it's a perfect time for these things to happen and go down. But at the same thing, but when you go back to it, it goes back to, like what Bam said, go back to the dollar. Like, them men got to feed their families.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm going to go here, because I'm HBCU-ish. The young man that just decided he would play at Howard. Like, I have had this conversation with my brother, with all of y'all about elite athletes going to HBCUs. Like, in my heart, nobody can tell me that and I'm just going out here with you being, I really believe God designed African Americans for athletic excellence. I believe every race has something that they're good at as a race. Because I really don't think God ever created us all to be divided. I think God created us to work together. So every race's strength could bring to the table and make us superior as human beings. That's really what I believe. So I think every race has something dominant, and ours happens to be athleticism, strength, agility, quickness, those things. Now, I feel like a disservice has been done because of the system that's been created to funnel elite athletes in another direction. Like, if for the next 5 years, every elite, I'm just going to say basketball, because they play basketball, every elite basketball player of African American complexion went to an HBCU. NCAA going to have a problem. Because they come along every year and one school will creep in. One school will creep in with not enough without enough of whatever it takes to compete that whole time. But you can't tell me if you stack the HBCU with the same level of black talent that some of these white institutions are stacked with, that we can't compete. I'll never believe that. Now y'all can talk.
Our culture is contagious. Nipsey Hussle said it best.
Say it again. Say one more time. We're gonna go to a commercial right here. Our culture is contagious. Our culture is contagious. I love it. I love it. Take a pause right here. We're gonna come back on Our Culture is Contagious.